Kimberly, you want to tell us about yourself? She's not here. We can skip her.
Actually, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know why my video my video is saying it's on, but it's not showing you guys anything. But I promise you, I'm here.
Are you on a laptop or?
Yeah, I'm on a laptop.
Okay, on the bottom left, there's going to be a start. On the bottom left of the Zoom screen, there's going to be a start video. If you click that, you can start your video.
Yeah, I already did that, and whenever I click on it, like now, it just says, it gives me stop video, or it gives me the selection of going into settings. But then when I go into the video settings, everything's open and good. So I'm not sure. I'm maybe going to try and come in through my phone instead of my laptop, but I'm not sure if my phone is going to let me.
All right.
When I hit the launch meeting on my phone, it just sits there. At any rate, let me go ahead and introduce myself. Since you can at least hear me, that's fine.
Yeah.
My name is Kimberly. I am the former wife and mother of the only child of Mohammed Isafan, who was shot and killed by Akron police on 12/15/19, December 15th, 2019. At any rate, let me go ahead and introduce myself. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of low.
What did you say?
The volume level is just kind of low.
Okay, is that better?
I don't know if that's something you can change or not, but just what I observed.
I can hear her fine. Okay.
Right.
I don't know if anybody else has issues.
Sorry. I told Meg I'm not the most tech savvy, so this is where I need
that sounds actually a lot louder now. Perfect.
Okay. So did you want me to just leave it at that for right now, or?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. We're gonna just do quick intros, but then I'll come back to you, and we'll get more in depth on your story. All right. So next I'll have David. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick to everybody watching?
Hi, thank you. So my name is David Allen Moon from Dave Moon TV. I'm up in so-called British Columbia, and I'm representing my late stepbrother Frank Bell. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's see, John Tell, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. My name is John Tell, owner and founder of the Leon Black Independent Media, an independent media network that is geared towards civil rights, human rights, environmental issues. Anything that mainstream media will not cover, we cover, and we are here in coalition with Dave Moon TV, Family Soup TV, Black Lives in Streets, and everyone else, here to spread the truth, along with our co-host Meg as well, which you'll, of course, interview her. We're here to expose the truth and give families and people an opportunity to share their experiences so that we can combat this crooked system.
All right, thank you very much. And Chaz, you want to go next and give us an introduction, man?
Yeah, how you doing? My name is Chaz Neal. I'm a policy aid director at Black Lives in Streets in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Also run community outreach called Northside Urban Pride Community Outreach, which is based in Northside Minneapolis. We're off of West Broadway. This is something new that we're doing to give back to the community. So I'm thankful that Miss Kimberly is on tonight. I know I've been watching did meet this queen in Akron when I was out there for Jalen Walker. And it really disturbs me that, we find these stories that really we shouldn't even have to really be finding, because we should already be knowing these names, especially if we're out here as activists, are people that are out here fighting for justice. There shouldn't be no names that we don't know. And I know there's many of them, but just the fact that there is, we should know all of them. And I'm thankful that she's here tonight. I'm thankful for David Moon from Canada and everybody else. So.
All right, thank you, man. And then up next we have Matthew, the king of Facebook jail. Want to give us an introduction?
Hi, my name's Matt. I am an activist in the New England area, Massachusetts specifically. I like to expose the truth, and I enjoy being in this movement for justice for Black lives and Black liberation. And I just love being here, listening to everyone.
All right, thank you. And then last but not least, Meg, want to give us an introduction?
Good evening, everybody. I'm Meg Keller. I'm the investigative reporter for the Leon Block Independent Media Group, and I also do police brutality, corruption, and autopsy reviews. What's up, everybody?
All right, thank you. All right, so Kimberly, I think we're gonna have you speak first, and then we'll have David speak about his story later. If you want to just tell us what exactly happened with the Akron Police Department and that fatal shooting of Mohammed, just give us whatever details you can, and then people can just interject and ask questions if they need to.
Absolutely. I did do a very extensive, almost hour-long live yesterday. And that's on my Facebook page. But this is for those of you who thought that was going to be the same thing today. No. This is definitely a shorter version. But first and foremost, my daughter and I do appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this. As you may find out from our story, we have been ignored by all press in the Akron area. So even though it's been 2.5 years since Muhammad's passing at the hands of the Akron police, this is actually the first podcast we have ever been invited to do anywhere. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That deserves a round of applause for Kimberly, stepping up here, fearlessly. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
Thank you.
I'm here for you.
That for whatever reason, when it comes to this case, any news media outlet is, I guess, afraid of going up against the police. So it's definitely been a one-woman show so far. So it means more than you will ever know that we are here with you tonight. So I'll go ahead and get on to the story. I woke up late on a Sunday morning, December 15th, 19. I sat up in bed and I turned on the news, and the news was saying that the Akron police had shot and killed a man driving a silver Camry near the intersection of Britton and Evans Roads. It said to call the detectives with any information, so I obviously called the number provided because I thought, he lives near the intersection of Britton and Evans, and he drives a silver Toyota Camry. So I called the number. They said that detectives were still on the scene, and that I would get a call back from a detective. About 2 hours later, a lady called me. She wouldn't obviously tell me anything over the phone, but she asked for my address. And that's when I knew that it was my mom and he was gone. She wouldn't need my address to come over and tell me that all was good and everything was okay. They had also mentioned that the person that was killed was in camouflage, and the last time I saw Muhammad, he was in.
Hold on a second, Kimberly. I think Meg has something that she wants to bring up really quick.
Yes, I just want I would like our viewers just to stop and like think for a second. Like if this was your family member, you're getting a call from the police department, and they literally are waiting 2 hours to call you back. And then as well, they are coming to see you, but then we also have to keep in mind what happens after they leave. And the answer to that is nothing. Like there is no support. There is no anything offered to these grieving families at that point. And I just wanted to add that in there to our listeners, Kimberly. I apologize for interrupting you.
Oh, no, please do interrupt, because you've been one of the few that has seen the extensive video that I put up yesterday that basically drags you through this case from point A at the time of his killing till now. And Meg can attest that there are so many layers and so many pieces to this case. It's not cut and dry, definitely.
There definitely is. And there has to be, like, in Akron alone, or Akron, like, there definitely has to be some accountability within the police department. This has kept happening. Like, we're definitely going to start doing our research and pull names for at least the last 3 years, because just within the past 6 months to a year, like, this police department definitely needs to be looked at by the Department of Justice for color of law, like, violations.
Right. I couldn't agree more. And not only did it take them a couple hours to call me back, then once they came over to the house, they sat outside for about an hour before coming in. At any rate, obviously at that point, I knew he was gone. So while I was still sleeping that morning, my Muhammad was off to the gun range. Keep in mind, this was a Sunday morning, although it was December, bitter cold, but it was, a nice day out. It was bright out. It was sunny. I
lost the sound for a bit.
Yeah, looks like we there we go. Hey, we missed the last 60 seconds. If you said it was bright outside, and then after that it cut out. If you want to repeat that part.
Yeah, so it was bright outside, but it was really cold. It was like 15 degrees. So he was on his way to the gun range. It was approximately 8:30 in the morning. He had left his car on the side of the expressway, and nobody knew why, myself included. He proceeded from 76. He was 3 miles from home, and he must have been running, because callers reported seeing his car moving very slowly and then coming to a stop.
Damn, I think you cut out again there, Kimberly.
Don't we love technology? I can follow up until you can hear her again. She said that her husband had, like, he ran out of gas, was potentially like the issue, and so he got out of the car and was walking to his house to get a gas can. And that's whenever. Okay, yep. Go ahead, Kimberly. We can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. Feel free to cut me off anytime. So yes, he was going back to his house where he had a gas can in the basement. And I know that he had gas in that can because he also had a riding lawnmower and a small, like, mowing kind of business where he would mow some of the neighbors' yards. So I know he had fuel there. And he made it 3 houses from home, and he was sitting down because he had just ran 3 miles in about 25 minutes. And I'm sure he was running because he knew his car was on the side of the expressway. Now, nobody knew what happened to the car and why he left it until I had to fight the police and go get it out of impound. That's when I figured out that the car was out of gas. And that's all I've ever done to the car is fill it up with gas, give it oil changes, and replace tires that have been stabbed. Yeah, mornings I'll come out and there will be a knife sticking out of my tire. Just some of the stuff that my daughter and I have to deal with since this happened.
And now to keep in mind, everyone, this is by the police. This is the police that are, their job and duty is to serve and protect. But Kimberly, unfortunately, and many other survivors and directly impacted families in this situation, they have to face retaliation from the police if they do anything.
It's not even just retaliation. It is pure harassment. This is a common occurrence from any family or friends that have to deal with, someone they love being a victim of this or a stolen life. And this is a common occurrence. Just keep that in mind, everyone.
Harassment, like intimidation, retaliation, it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely wanted me to just shut up and sit back.
And see, that's exactly what they count on, though.
And that's the problem. These are supposed to be the people that are supposed to serve and protect us and make sure we're safe. I don't feel safe.
I could show you a text I have.
Comply and forget.
Just like you did your husband.
Quite literally, comply and forget. That's the way I see what they feel like. But it shouldn't be that way.
I've also been threatened because I posted the 2 officer pictures on my Facebook page because they are a matter of public record now that Muhammad's case file is a matter of public record.
Was there?
Mind also, everyone, sorry, John Tell, but she received a cease and desist letter from the police department over telecommunications by her just simply stating, these are the officers that killed my husband.
Wait a minute. So they said the cease and desist for telling the truth?
Yep.
Yes, bro. They said and I told her that we could send them one too.
Right.
Meg has a copy of that letter. Yes, sir. They threatened me with charges. They've accused me of trying to contact members of the officer's family. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's just a few examples. The knife in the tire, the death threat over the phone, that cease and desist order. That's just a small slice of the pie of what my daughter and I have been dealing with for 2.5 years.
Can I ask you a question, Kimberly? I don't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to ask you a question because with everything that you've had to deal with from Akron police, and then you've seen what's going on with Jalen Walker. You've seen like the police have put on this rhetoric of, oh, we're getting bomb threats, we're getting threats of this. But then when you find out who the officers are, and you find out about Tango 22, and you find out about the little gangs and the initiations and shit, and it really makes you wonder of like, how come people haven't spoke up sooner? Like, I was there in July, and it's September now, and I think I've seen at least maybe 8, 9 other cases of police brutality since just leaving.
And Chaz, you brought up a great point that I just thought, or you made me think of, Tango 22. So if we have the names of these police officers, can we run it through our database to see if they are included in? That would really help our case.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes, let's do it. All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Let's see. So basically, Muhammad's car was on the side of the expressway.
Gotta love technology, y'all.
Yeah, I wish I had the call-in number. Kimberly, you're right now. We can't hear you. You should hop on one of our streams and so you can hear yourself, maybe, because it does keep cutting out. What's that?
And so
Okay.
they ended up saying that they saw an assault rifle in his car. And if I was on video right now, I could show you this assault rifle. It is on the live video that I did on Facebook yesterday. And it is actually a clicker lighter that is about 12 inches long. Yes, it looks exactly like an AR, but it is 12 inches long. And so they tried to say that he had an assault rifle, but you're telling me that you as an officer couldn't tell that it was, a toy.
I mean, I could definitely tell that it was fake. Could you tell, Chaz?
Yesterday on the video, I threw the gun next to a baseball cap so you could see the size of this little thing. And it's barely bigger. It's about the same size as 2 baseball caps. Now, if you can't, I don't know anything about guns, but I could tell that this is not a real assault rifle. It's not even close to the same size. There's even no trigger on it. You actually have to push a button on the back of it and a little flame comes out of it. So yeah, they're using that they saw an assault rifle in his car, and then they put out an APB that he could be armed and dangerous. And so this is all happening while he's running. Then these 2 officers who Akron calls special duty officers were supposed to be monitoring a senior citizens building just a few blocks away. They heard the call. They heard that Muhammad's address was very close to them. So they decide to go down and see what's going on. Mind you, they're in a plain white Ford Taurus. There is nothing on this Ford Taurus at all. The only thing that I could see on it was that big silver light that's on like the mirror on the side that they like to flash. But other than that, no cherries and berries, no markings, no nothing. They pull up on him. He's sitting down. They pull up on him. The minute they get out of the car, they have guns drawn. No de-escalation, no other, hey, you, nothing. Guns drawn. You see Muhammad get up and he walks towards them, and then you see him round this line of trees and start going the other direction. Not running, but walking the other direction, probably trying to save his life. And at this point in time is where they said that he supposedly pulled a gun. And that's all they've said in the press. Oh, had a gun, he pulled it. They won't tell you that they told me the supposed gun that he had was empty anyway. Now, grant you, they wouldn't have a way of knowing that prior to, but it does show for no intent. Muhammad had no intention on hurting anybody or killing any cops. So they did not have any body cams on or dash cams because Akron considers them special duty officers because they were just supposed to be monitoring that senior citizens building. Special duty officers are not required to wear body cams or use dash cams. They carry, obviously they're still able to kill, but because they're considered special duty, no body cams. The only way I had a snowball's chance in Ecuador was a video from a surveillance camera from a business across the street. Had it not been for that video and an eyewitness, I would be cops against nobody. I wouldn't have a chance. This video, Meg has seen it. I asked Meg earlier today, hey, you better be honest with me. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. I want honest opinions. Did he pull? because I'm going to be emotionally attached. So, of course, I'm going to see things a certain way. I want, somebody else's outside neutral opinion. She said, Kim, he didn't pull. You can see two black arms extended from the minute they get out of that white car, and you can see two purple camouflage arms swinging down at his sides. And then you see him take 5 steps and land face down.
And also to note, he was wearing purple, like not even like a dull purple. It was like a print color camouflage. So you can, when with the sun shining and from the like area of the surveillance camera, I really feel like we should like share it live, the body cam, if we could. I'm not sure if we could, Soup, but that would be amazing to show the audience like the actual moments leading up to the situation. Because his hands are down. He definitely was not pulling for anything. And I watched it like slow-mo with the, like everybody here, in this circle knows how we do it because we go through body cam, but like frame by frame by frame, he did not move his hand. They shot him a lot. It was overkill. And it was just like Kimberly told me earlier, it equaled the amounts of shots that Jalen Walker was shot, only it was by less officers. He got shot 15 times by 2 officers at point blank. They were standing like very close to him in proximity. So, these officers need to be charged with homicide. That's what the medical examiner ruled. His death was homicide. He had back shots. He was shot in the back over 3 to 4 times that did not come out the front. He was shot in the front in the chest. So one of those officers at the very first, couple shots got him, like that was the kill shot. So this is America, guys. Like this is the, this is the stuff that we need to pay attention to. This could be your loved ones. This could be my loved ones. Like this is crazy. And we definitely have to, stand in solidarity and unity with this family because they are alone. And this is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Like it traumatized me so bad. And like, I called everybody on the team this morning just because granted, like I do this a lot and I've watched over dozens and dozens of body cam footages, but Jalen Walker's was bad, but his is bad too. Like he didn't do, then for the media to try to paint him as a terrorist. Now, granted, after I hung up with you, Kimberly, earlier, I called my ex-husband, who is a gun enthusiast. He has guns galore. He has ammunition galore. And I asked him, is 2,000 rounds of ammunition a lot if you're going to a gun range? He said, fuck no. So there's your answer to that. Like that is crazy. And it's so sucky that like, just because the color of his skin, he was automatically a terrorist. Just because he had black boots on, he was a terrorist. Just because he had a tactical, thing on, he was going to a gun range. That's how they dress. They want to look cool. Like Kimberly shared with me earlier, he was so excited to get this camo. It was purple camo, guys. It was like Prince, like looking camo. Like this is the saddest thing, and that Akron needs to be aware of. We need accountability and police to police. That's it.
And this purple camouflage, I graduated from a university in Ohio, really big in Division III football, and our colors are purple and white. So he thought it was cool to get this camouflage because he was coming down to homecoming and stuff. And he never understood why I said, oh, you need to wear that when we go to Mount Union homecoming. And he never understood until he got down there with me. And then he was like, now I understand because everything's purple and white. So he was in the process of buying myself and our daughter that we share purple camouflage as well for the next time we go back to Mount Union. So he really didn't even buy it with the premise of like being, Billy Badass. Of course, he came out modeling it, and I'm looking at him laughing like, who do you think you are, the purple Arab Terminator or something? Go take that shit off, it was funny. It was fun, but they're not going to tell you that. They're going to just say camouflage. They're not going to tell you it's purple. And Meg is right. Even the color, when he ordered it, it's called ultraviolet camouflage. And it is a distinctive purple. So it's definitely, now let me preface the video. The video is from a surveillance camera across the street. So a lot of people will go, oh, it's grainy, it's too far away. What you have to do is you have to look at this video for the nuts and bolts of it. And it clearly will show you, even grainy, even far away, who's pulled and who doesn't. And Meg, not knowing me until a couple of days ago, has watched the video and can tell you in her professional opinion that he did not pull. That's nobody that's attached to Muhammad. They're not attached to me. That is a neutral opinion, an outside opinion. And Meg, you also touched on the 2,000 rounds. Let me tell you a few things. After they killed him, then they turned on the body cams. And it allowed me to see how they treated Muhammad afterwards. And I guess that they didn't feel that they had enough, quote unquote, ammunition for killing him. So they decided to go 3 houses down and search his apartment without a warrant. And that's when they found the 2,000 rounds. So, of course, they printed that in the paper. Oh, man shot dead by police had 2,000 rounds in his apartment. Well, me not being a gun enthusiast, I thought, man, Muhammad, what? So I asked my stepdad, who was still alive at the time. And he's a member of the NRA, and he was going to take me to shoot guns and all kinds of stuff. Unfortunately, he passed just a couple months after Muhammad. But I asked him, I said, Dad, is 2,000 rounds a lot? And he's like, it is and it isn't. He said, if you're going to the gun range, it isn't. And he said, and nowadays they sell rounds online in 1,000 packs. And the more packs you buy, the cheaper they are. And the more you buy, you get over a certain amount, you get free shipping. So he said, it's really not a lot, especially knowing that he was going to the gun range. It is a nice day at the gun range to go through 1,000 rounds. So, okay. So that's when I knew, all right, here we go. And once again, they're trying to paint him a certain way to make themselves look better or make themselves feel better about killing him. So that's where the 2,000 rounds came in that Meg mentioned. There was an eyewitness who was brave enough to come forward and tell what they saw. They do confirm that they saw no gun in my Muhammad's hands and that he was briskly walking away from the police. But when this witness was interviewed by the Akron detectives, they were not thorough. And when you can clearly hear him tell them this man was no threat, and they just said, well, how did that make you feel to see something like this? Is there anything that you want to tell us today? I mean, it was like he didn't even say anything. They just blazed right over it like a Krispy Kreme donut, like whatever. So it also hasn't been addressed in the press. I have a source at the Akron Beacon Journal who is the only main paper in Akron. He is a reporter that used to be there, no longer. And he told me he has firsthand knowledge that he knows of a reporter that was writing an article for the Akron Beacon Journal solely about what this eyewitness saw, and he was told to stop writing their article and ditch it. One of the Cleveland news stations came down and did an exclusive interview on TV or on camera with me and this lead witness, and it never aired. When I called up to ask why it didn't make air, they said, oh, well, it's in the file. If we have any questions, we'll give you a call back. And
just to say really quick, because that is something for viewers to take witness of. We all know that the media, i.e. the news specifically, and the police departments go hand in hand, and they collaborate and they work together, especially with smaller markets such as Akron. So it's not a surprise to me. It's not a surprise that they criminalized this man on top of it.
They definitely took every opportunity opportunity they could to criminalize and dehumanize him. And well, that's why they don't like me, because they expected me to sit down and shut up and say, good riddance, ex-husband. Yeah, no. The last time I saw him alive, he did re-propose to me. We were trying to put our family back together. He gave me a ring. They don't want to believe that either. But my daughter was here and can confirm. If you want to call her a liar, then we got bigger problems. And then that's been the problem, because I didn't sit down, shut up, break out the party hats, and say good riddance. Well, I'm the monster now, and I'm the problem.
Yep.
And they definitely tried to redirect the attention from themselves to me. And so far, it's felt more like my daughter and I are on trial than they are, because they're making us, even one of the questions to us, describe your relationship with the decedent in the past 5 years. Excuse me. We want a list of all of your daughter's doctors, because we don't believe you that her illness and her health has severely declined since her father's murder. So we had to send them a list of 15 different doctors and specialists that my daughter has seen. She is in a wheelchair now. She was not in a wheelchair when her father was murdered. She is undiagnosed. We have had her at 15 different specialists at the Cleveland Clinic, at university hospitals, 3 different emergency rooms. We cannot figure out what is going on with her. The only thing doctors can conclude is the trauma from losing her father. So they want us to prove that we're not faking it, pushing her around in a wheelchair. Trust me, I'm old and fat. The last thing I want to do is push her around in a wheelchair, especially when she's a young adult and she needs to be out running the mall, or, going over to her friend's house, or driving her dad's car that is her car now. The last thing I want after her losing her father and losing that part of her life is for her to not have a life. And that's exactly what she has right now. She doesn't have her father, and she doesn't have a life. She's in bed or in a wheelchair, and that's it. So they have just taken that to the hill as far as making us prove our relationship with Muhammad prior to his death and prove her health concerns at this time.
Hey,
so they definitely don't make life easy, for sure.
So I did get the surveillance video from Meg, and I just want to make sure that's something that you're comfortable with us playing, because I don't want to traumatize you.
No, you won't traumatize me, but let me preface the video. Now, that video that you guys are about to show is a cell phone video taken of a computer screen that was playing that video. And the person with the phone taking the video of the screen definitely tries to focus in and things like that. Those videos are a part of his police, are part of Muhammad's case file, but they were corrupt when they were sent to me. So I've been having a really hard time with them. And that was one moment when we actually got them to play, and that was our only ditch effort, was just to take them on a cell phone. So let me preface that. I already told you guys that it is a surveillance video from across the street. So it is not going to be body cam footage like some of the other families are lucky enough to get. And yeah, it's you can go ahead and play it, and then I can take any questions or comments.
All right. Yeah, I'm getting into it right now. I hid the screen for a second just because I'm trying to get into some messages and I don't want people reading along. But give me 1 second.
The video also shows, we probably won't play the lengthy one, but the video does show how long it took for them to even provide any kind of first aid.
All right. 1 second.
Sorry, I had to get something to drink there.
open right up.
Yeah, and while we're getting that video up, my daughter and I didn't get to see that video for 504 days. So I think I mentioned that earlier, that we were in dark for 504 days. They lied to us and told us that he was dead immediately, but once we got a case file, we saw that one of the officers stated that he saw Muhammad taking a few labored breaths and saw blood bubbling out of his back. Like I said, they did turn their body cams on after they killed him, which revealed that they not only stole his life, but they stole his dignity as well. They handcuffed him so hard behind his back that the autopsy noted severe handcuff wounds. You could see them telling EMS when they arrive, we think he's gone, so nobody bothers to hurry over to even attempt to help him. They ripped Muhammad's pants down around his ankles and left him lay in that field wide open with no barriers. They did try to put up one barrier and they let it fall over. No tent, no blanket, no nothing. You see on the body cam footage, a guy walks by walking his dog and he asks the cop, "Oh, that guy's dead over there. Did he get hit by a car?" And the cop said, "We don't know what happened," and shoot the guy along. And he's like, "But he's dead. Aren't you going to help him?" You know, I mean, it was just crazy, the scene. So yeah, I got to see all that. I got to see them standing over him going, "He's dead," when he should have zagged. And nice shot, man. Yeah, really. I also got to see them laughing as they were loading him into the coroner's van. Oh yeah, I've got so much wonderful stuff. And I told you how after they just, had all those little adventures, then they decided to take a picnic down 3 houses down and go ransack his apartment. So that brings us up to what happened next. It basically went to the grand jury. The Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost assigned 2 assistant attorney generals to carry this case to the grand jury. And grand jury in Summit County is sealed. So all I know is that those 2 assistant attorney generals are the ones that got to pick and choose what information they gave to that grand jury. So I don't know what information they gave and what information they didn't, but the only thing I do know that was not present at that grand jury was the testimony of the eyewitness who saw Muhammad walking away for his life. He called me up on grand jury day and said, "Tim, isn't grand jury today?" I said, "Yes, where are you?" He says, "I'm home on my couch. I never got a subpoena, a phone call, a text, somebody beating on the door, nothing." So that eyewitness never testified in front of that grand jury. Now they can say,
That's
we
crazy.
used the interview that he gave that day. Well, do you remember me telling you about the interview? How thorough that was not? Yeah, so that interview doesn't say anything. So the grand jury ended up not convicting the 2 officers. So there again in the press, everybody thinks, yep, Muhammad played stupid games. He gets stupid prizes. The grand jury cleared him. That lines up with what the cops said. Case closed. Case closed. So that all happened while they still kept us in the dark. Like I said, grand jury happened about 9 months after they killed him. And then it was almost a year and a half when we finally got the case filed. So there we are going through grand jury, still not knowing anything. And we weren't allowed to know anything because grand jury is sealed. And that's basically the bigger points of the case. there are definitely some other little inconsistencies that are going on and things that I have discovered. But I do know that we have other families here that are just as important as Muhammad. So I want to give them some time as well. I do want to mention just two families, if I can. I do want to mention Marquetta Williams. She is the wife of James Williams, who was shot and killed in police. She had mentioned me in a podcast before, so I wanted to return the favor. Also, there is another gentleman in Ohio that I can guarantee you probably none of you have ever heard of. His name is Robert or Bobby Sycon. His daughter is fighting for his justice. He was shot and killed and dragged by a Carrollton County deputy. Also got cleared by their grand jury, and he is definitely one of the dark, smaller secrets, just like Akron's dark secret, Muhammad. She definitely is not getting the attention that his case deserves as well. So I just wanted to mention those two families as well.
That Robert person. How do you spell the last name, by the way?
First name is Robert Bobby. Last name is Sycon. It's S as in Sam, I, K like in Kimberly, O like in Oscar, N as in Nancy. His daughter that's fighting for him is Melissa Ford, just like Ford car, Chevy. And she's friends with me on Facebook as well. So, Carrollton County, for those of you who don't know about Ohio, it is a little bit south, shall I say, of Canton. If you know about Canton with the Pro Football Hall of Fame, or it's probably about, I'd say, an hour south of Akron. And Akron is an hour south of Cleveland. So a lot of times I go up to Cleveland because Akron's so lame and no support at all. I've actually found more support and friends in Cleveland. So, but I definitely appreciate you all taking the time to listen to our story. Like I said, this is the first podcast we've ever been invited to. So we're thrilled. The case, actually, my baby girl and I did file federal charges against the two officers. We did not do it in Akron. We did it in Cleveland. And pray for us this next couple weeks. Her and I are due to be deposed, which means they're going to ask us about our relationship and ask her to prove her illness again and all this and drag us and talk about the real issue at hand. And then also in the next 2 weeks, the two officers that killed him have to be deposed, and I have to sit in that. And that is going to be the first time I will have met eyes with either one of these. Sorry, excuses, I guess I can say. So that's going to be a very trying experience for me all the way around.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, so we did have a couple speakers that weren't able to make it tonight. So I think it's just you and David tonight, unless somebody comes in late. And I have that Google Drive open now. Is there any way you can hop on the stream? Or if not, I can just go ahead and play the video from that surveillance video.
Hop on this. Oh, you mean like come on the screen so you guys can see me?
No, I mean like, would you want to watch it and like because I'm about to show everything.
I've relived it. We're at 1,008 days since they've killed him, and I know every day counts, and I've seen this just about every day, sometimes a few times a day.
life. Followed by many, I follow none. I lead none, I walk together as one. One body, one life. One now, one mind. One being, one soul. One eye, one whole. I am spirit, I am life.